Hey guys, it's Amanda. Excuse me looking a little under the weather. I am. Been out of work the past 2 days with a gross flu. But I still wanted to get my video done early so that we can start our discussion in class. This week I'm going to talk to you guys about the group process. This has been an interesting topic for me. I have led some groups in the past when I was a crisis provider, and then my field instructor was actually a co-facilitator of one of our groups on site. And I had been sitting in with her, getting a little bit involved, and when she left, I was asked to step up as in the role as a co-facilitator. So I want to talk a little bit about the group dynamics of this group because they're pretty unique. This group is not exclusively for females or males. However, it's a group of 9 ladies right now. And these 9 ladies have all different backgrounds, are all different ages. It's really unique when you sit in there and realize the wisdom and the differences and the way that they can talk about subjects from the information that they've gleaned. I think this group is unique in that the same group has been coming fairly consistently for a year. And one of the things I'm going to touch on is the participants who don't come consistently. But I think there's a good sense of camaraderie in this group, and it's been established as a safe place because they've been together for so long, and because the agency and my field instructor have really work to make it a place to learn, but also a place to learn from each other. So I think that's really unique. One thing that does unite the participants, and again, this isn't a requirement of the group, but everyone in the group has an access to mood disorder. And about 85 to 90% of the participants also have a fairly significant trauma history. So one of my roles as a group co-facilitator has been to try to avoid triggers in the group dynamic. Our office is located on a pretty busy street, so faithfully every week on Thursday between 10 and noon, it seems to be that there's a fire truck or an ambulance going by. We have one participant who's particularly triggered by that. Who, when that happens, you'll see like her face go blank, and it takes her a few minutes of deep breathing to calm down and be ready to re-engage with us. But the group understands that that's her situation, her background, where she's coming from. And then it's been cool to watch other group members praise her for when she's able to snap out of that and rejoin us. We also have people who have negative either romantic relationships or female-male relationships in the past. There was one day that a male client was sitting in the waiting room at the start of group, and so that was a trigger when he was in the waiting room. We actually had 2 group participants turn around and go back outside. And then we used a side entrance to get out there with them, make sure they could get into the group safely, and then process what that experience was like. So in terms of, having individualized treatment and catering to people, I don't want to use the word catering, but being sensitive to people's needs, I feel like this group has done a really good job of that. We've recently had a couple situations where group members have become inconsistent. One group member in particular decided to go with a therapist outside of the agency, and since that's happened, she's not coming to group consistently. It was someone who the individual therapist would help her come up with topics to bring up in group and really supported her in attending group, and the new counselor hasn't instilled that same thing. So we've had a couple conversations with that client about coming to group consistently or maybe making the choice to take some time off, because we do have 2 or 3 people right now who are waiting to come into the group, who are ready to participate, and who have been waiting for quite some time, but there hasn't been a slot in that group. Another participant has chosen to come to group on a number of occasions intoxicated. It started out with a conversation with one of the substance abuse counselors on site that was just like, hey, we ask that you respect the group by not coming intoxicated, and that's actually written into the group rules. This person chose to continue doing that, and then when the review came up, staff documented that those conversations had taken place, and that client actually called the CEO upset, wanting that to be taken out of the record. The person who wrote it wasn't comfortable doing that because conversations had been had with that client, but an addendum was added to say that the client wasn't supportive of those conversations. So, it's been a unique experience. I think, being mindful of people's trauma histories, asking for consistency and attending the group, and, letting some of those peer networking things unfold as far as supporting each other through things, sharing experiences has been really neat. And so, yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about that experience. I hope everyone has a good week. If you've had experience group co-facilitating, I know a few of you had. I'm welcome to any feedback on navigating those individual differences, or if you guys want to share any experiences that you've had. Have a good week.